Section 8 of the Endeavour Journal of Sir Joseph Banks. Journal from 25 August 1768 to 12 July 1771 by Joseph Banks. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Gail Timmerman Vaughan. Section 8. February 1769. 1769 February 1. Calm this morn. Went out in the boat and killed Diomedia antarctica, Procellaria antarctica, and Terter. Diomedia antarctica, the black-billed albatross, is much like the common but differs from him in being scarce half as large and having a bill entirely black. Procellaria lugens, the southern shearwater, differs from the common one in being less and darker coloured on the back, but is easily distinguished by his flight, which is heavy, and two fascia or streaks of white under his wings, which are very conspicuous when he flies. Procellaria terter, Mother Carey's dove, is of the petrel kind, about the size of a Barbary dove, of a light silvery blue upon the back, which shines beautifully as he flies, which he does very swiftly, keeping generally near the surface of the water. More or less of these birds have been seen very often since we left the latitude of Falkland Islands, where in a gale of wind we saw immense quantities of them. 1769 February 2. This morn calm and foggy, much like the weather on the banks of Newfoundland. After dinner went in the boat and shot Procellaria fuliginosa, Terter, Gigantea, and Fragata. I saw also a small bird not larger than a blackbird, who flew quick, flapping his wings like a partridge, but was not able to get a shot at him. Probably he was of the Alca tribe. 1769 February 3. Calm again. Went out and shoot Diomedea exulens albatross, or alcatraz, differing from those seen to the northward of Straits of La Mer, in being much larger and quite often white on the back between the wings, though certainly the same species. Diomedea antarctica, lesser black-billed albatross. Diomedea profuga, lesser albatross with a party-coloured bill, differing from the last in few things, except the bill, the upper and under sides of which were yellow, and between them black. And Procellaria vagabunda. Thermometer 41. 1769 February 4. Blew brisk today. Made some northing and westing. We now began to account ourselves certainly past the Cape, and the captain, as in his orders was recommended, resolved to stand as far to the westward as the winds will allow him to do. 2 crabs were taken today in the clothes that hang overboard to tow. I had been unwell these 3 or 4 days, and today was obliged to keep the cabin with a bilious attack, which, though quite slight, alarmed me a good deal, as Captain Wallis had, in the Straits of Magellan, such an attack, which he never got the better of throughout the whole voyage. 1769 February 5. All but calm today. Myself a little better than yesterday. Well enough to eat part of the albatrosses shot on the 3rd, which were so good that everybody commended and eat heartily of them, though there was fresh pork upon the table. The way of dressing them is thus: skin them overnight and soak their carcasses in salt water till morn, then parboil them and throw away the water. Then stew them well with very little water, and when sufficiently tender serve them up with savoury sauce. 1769 February 6. Foul wind. Myself something better. 1769 February 7. Myself better again. In the evening ship made a little westing. 1769 February 8. Fair wind, blew fresh. 1769 February 9. Blew fresh all last night, which has given us a good deal of westing. This morn some seaweed floated past the ship, and my servant declares that he saw a large beetle fly over her. I do not believe he would deceive me, and he certainly knows what a beetle is, as he has these 3 years been often employed in taking them for me. 1769 February 10. During all last night the ship has pitched very much, so that there has been no sleeping for landmen. Today misty, with little wind. 1769 February 11. Fair wind, stand to the westward. 1769 February 12. Foul wind, but prodigious fine weather, and smooth water makes amends to us at least. 1769 February 13. Wind still foul and blew fresh. At night a little mended. 1769 February 14. Wind south. Water soon became smooth. At night little wind. 1769 February 15. Calm this morn. Went in the boat and killed Procellaria velox, Nectris munda, and fuliginosa, which last 2 are a new genus between Procellaria and Diomedea. This we reckon a great acquisition to our bird collection. My stay out today was much shortened by a breeze of wind, which brought me aboard by 11 o'clock, and before night blew very fresh. 1769, February 16. All last night and this morn it has blown very fresh, wind south, so that we have 3 reefs in the topsails for the first time since we left the Straits of La Mer. 1769, February 17. Blew fresh yet, and wind stood, so we went well to the westward. In the evening more moderate. I ventured upon deck for the first time, and saw several porpoises, without any pinna dorsalis, black on the backs, under the belly, and on the noses white. Also a kind of albatross different from any I have seen, he being black all over except the head and bill, which were white. 1769, February 18. Fair weather, ship stood northwest. 1769, February 19. Went very slowly through the water, though pleasantly, for the ship had scarcely any motion. 1769, February 20. Wind still foul but very moderate, and the ship almost without motion. 1769, February 21. Still no swell from the west, though the ship had fresh way through the water. A bird not seen before attended the ship, about the size of a pigeon, black above and light-coloured underneath, darting swiftly along the surface of the water in the same manner as I have observed the nectaris to do, of which genus he is probably a species. 1769, February 22. This morn settled rain and scarce any wind. The whole evening small puffs of wind and rain and calms succeeded each other. 1769, February 23. Calm. Went out in the boat. Shot Procellary velox, fuliginosa, and vilificans. At night wind came to the east, though very little of it. It was, however, a matter of comfort to have any, as we have not had the name of east in the wind since 31st of January. 1769, February 24. At 12 last night the wind settled at northeast. This morn found studding sails set, and the ship going at a rate of 7 knots. No very usual thing with Mrs. Endeavour. 1769, February 25. Almost calm, so that we trembled for the continuance of our east wind, and soon afternoon it left us. At night rain and dirty weather, wind north. 1769, February 26. Blew fresh. Before dinner handed all topsails. Albatrosses began to be much less plentiful than they had been. Latitude 41.8. 1769, February 27. Moderate and fine. The weather began to feel soft and comfortable, like the spring in England. 1769, February 28. Weather fine with a pleasant breeze. In the evening a great many porpoises, of a very large size, came about the ship. They differed from any I have seen before in being very large, in having their back fins a great deal higher in proportion, and in every one having a white spot on each side of his face, as large as the crown of a hat, but of an oval shape. End of section 8. February 1769.